Welcome to Lawfolds Farm, episode 26, with me, Mr. Sealy P. So we're back on Lawfolds. There was no episode yesterday. I had a lot more to do than I thought I had. So unfortunately there was no live stream and no multiplayer. I was a bit snowed under, I'll be honest. So back on Lawfolds, the voucher is continuing on field 22 to plant poplars. I need to go over to the bottom field. I always get this wrong. Oh, it's 39. Yeah, field 39 to carry on cutting grass because I haven't quite got enough to fill the forage wagon yet. Loading wagon, whatever you want to call it. Because I need to give the sheep more grass, and I want to buy more sheep. It was suggested to me by Angel Eyes to pay off my loan. And I said, I've got plenty of money in the bank. It's not like I haven't got any money sitting there. But I thought, I've got a load of wood chips here that I can sell. The price had dropped at both places, Aberdeen grain and Highland grain. So I left it sitting there. If I go onto the map now, the price at, there we go, Highland grain has gone up to 1,125. That's the highest it's been for quite a while. So I'm going to sell this load. I'm going to pay off my loan because this will cover it easily. I think I've only got 50,000. I'm sure I've only got 50,000. Like I say, I could have paid it off anyway, but I don't know. It's in my head. I'm like, but if I do a load of wood chips, that covers the cost of paying off the loan without touching any of my money. It's weird. I know. I can't explain it. It's how my mind works. 66,420. That's the most I've ever got for a load of wood chips. Normally, when it was at about 1,100, I think it was, I was getting about 64. So 66,422 for a load of wood chips. I brought the lorry over. I left the low loader with the pallets of poplars sitting by the side of field 22. So with the voucher, I can just pick them off there whenever I need to. The lorry will go back over. I need to move the low loader at some point, but I just needed to do this to start off with. So anyway, that's that done. Now I can either go in and kind of do the whole, I'm going to pay it off online, you know. Have I got some in here? I must have. Oh, that's alright. Didn't realise I had some spare. Stored in the wood chipper. Even better than that, 5,000 stored in the wood chipper. Great. Okay. Lost my thread. Yeah, I can do it online, or I can do it by, I can actually go over to one of the cash points and do it on there. So what I am going to do is do it on, not on that, because that's the wrong one. I'm going to do it on here. So at the bottom, borrow 5,000, repay 5,000. Loan says 5,000, 50,000. So, done. Loan paid off. I don't owe the bank any money. I am debt free. Hooray! Right, off to where am I going now? Field 39. I need to carry on with the grass cutting. So I've got my my usual setup. I know it's the one that some people have complained about. The fact is, the Nova Cats can be hooked together in a combination like this. I can't see any logical reason to do that unless you want to put something else on the front or the back of your tractor. Somebody mentioned, well, you'd have one tractor would do the mowing, one would do the windrowing. Yeah, they probably would in real life, but I can't see the logic of these being able to connect together if you're not going to run something else on it. I don't know. This has got enough horsepower, it can run it all, so that's what I'm going to do. Turn that on, turn that on, and turn that on. Now, I need enough grass cut that I can fill up the loading wagon, probably more than once, because I'm going to get some sheep and I'm going to need plenty of grass in that loading wagon. But I also need to do some grass bales, because over at the cows, I think I'm down to my last 3 or 4 grass bales. So I'm going to need grass bales as well. So what I'm going to do is kind of go along the field a bit and actually probably the right to turn around now, and head back up towards East Law, where the sheep are. That's where I kind of started off mowing, and then I should have enough to fill up the loading wagon and do some bales, and everything will be perfect. Tried to do I'll say a larger sweep. It wasn't as large a sweep in bend as I could have done. Otherwise, the loading wagon and the balers struggle to pick it up. So the wider the sweep on the curve, the easier it is for the loading wagon and the balers to pick up. But this setup works really well. I like doing this. Either running the front mowers in that configuration with a windrower on the back, or the front mowers in that configuration with the tedder on the back for making hay, and then you just come over later on and you windrow it. What would be handy is a front windrower. And then you can put the rear baler on the back. That'd work for doing hay bales. I don't know if such a thing exists, but it would be quite handy. Now, as far as the live stream went the other day, it came across, I have to say, as a kind of unmitigating success. People were happy with it, they liked it. I had lots of comments saying they enjoyed it and well done and good video and that kind of thing. I know I had a few issues with sound. For the guy, if you were watching the live stream, I don't think there were any issues, but for the guys that were playing multiplayer on with me, there were a few issues with the sound, and I don't know why. My microphone didn't matter whether I had it turned up, turned down, I had it pulled right away from my face. Every time I spoke, they said it was just loud and distorted. So yeah, I'm not too sure why it was doing that. I'm trying to find a balance between live streaming so the audience can hear, and making it so the people I'm playing with can also hear. Well, that's interesting. I had a whole load here that I hadn't picked up from before. Oh, that should make life a bit more interesting. But it went quite well. Not everyone liked it, and that's fair enough. I understand that. Personally, I wasn't disappointed with the fact that people came on. I wasn't disappointed with the fact that people were watching. I wasn't disappointed with the multiplayer. I just felt the content of the video. I mean, I just, I harvested 2 fields. I thought personally I hadn't done enough farming, but I don't know. Live streams are difficult. I'm not too sure whether that's how most live streams go or not. I really don't know. But I thought it was okay. I think I can do better, and probably will do in the future. I'm not sure if in my next live stream it'll be multiplayer. I'm also not sure if the next multiplayer I do, I will broadcast, if that makes sense. Doing both together, multiplayer and broadcasting, was difficult because I was trying to talk to the people I was playing with and talk to the audience. So while I was talking to the audience and responding to comments, the people I was playing with were hearing all of that at the same time. So I wasn't sure whether that really worked as well as it could have done. Anyway, never mind. Right, I'll pop this here because that needs to go back to the main farm. And what we'll do is go and get in the New Holland, carry on collecting grass in the loading wagon and see where I get to, because I might need to cut some more to do baling, but we'll see how we get on. So with the Bergman Repex, I think it is, yeah, the Repex 34S on the back. I'm not far off full in all honesty, but I need to turn on the loading wagon, drop the pickup, and away we go. It's not going to take a lot to fill this, and I should get a few bales then to take over to Lewis, to the cows, to put ready for them. I think I've still got enough hay bales, I've got enough straw bales. At some point I wanted to do some silage baling, which I can use the new square silage wrapper. Actually that filled up way quicker than I thought. And there we go. We are full. And the great thing is I can nip out here without cutting across the grass, so I won't flatten too much and damage it. That was actually pretty good timing. What I should have done really was changed over and put row crop tyres. Now as you can see here on the left, I came down to start fertiliser spraying on field 34, and forgot to put row crop tyres on the Massey Ferguson. So as soon as I started off, I realised straight away I'd driven into the crop, so I pulled back out again and went and changed the tyres over. I probably could have done the same with this, because it suddenly dawned on me, if I follow along behind the case, the Magnum, when it's full, without going over the grass that I want to cut, I really should have put row crop tyres on. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm waffling around the issue. Just should have put row crop tyres on. That's it. So this is going to go back over to East Law, and I think what we'll do is get some more sheep. Now I have got 3 pallets of wool there. I know I've put them, they look rather precarious on there. In all honesty, I'm not sure. I have put the tie downs on, the straps. They should be fine, shouldn't be an issue. I just thought I'd get more on that way. Getting more sheep, they should produce the bales, the wool pallets a lot quicker. I'm waiting for the wool pallet price to come up. I was going to try and fill that trailer before selling it. That could take quite a while, in all honesty. So, yeah, not sure really what I'm going to do there. So, just stop there and jump out and get some more sheep. So, into the dialogue box. Question is how many to buy? $35 puts me about 150,000. Oh, you know what? Let's take up to about 200,000. What's going to put me at about 200,000? 48, 49. I'll get another 50. 50, why not? Let's get 50 more sheep. There we go. Cool. 210,000. In all honesty, having done the silaging, and I know the wood chipping pays well, I've said this numerous times. Yes, my money's now going down. I've still got over $1 million. It's not like I'm going to be broke. And the sheep will make money. The quicker they can fill those pallets up, the more money we make. So the sheep farm is expanding. So what I need to do is check actually on here. Should have gone the other way. So sheep, left-hand column. Cleanliness is fine. They are going to need now water and grass or hay. It's easier to give them grass. I'm up to 172 sheep now. That's pretty cool. The pigs are reproducing at a colossal rate. The cows are reproducing just at a slower rate. But overnight, I think they made me 50-something thousand, wasn't it? With that amount of cows, which is amazing. Absolutely brilliant. So I haven't got to worry too much about that. What I will do though, before I give them grass, is give them the grass out of here. Otherwise it becomes a bit of an issue. If I fill up the grass thing, then I can't empty this, so I'll empty this first, then fill up the grass. There we go. So that's the cleanliness bit sorted out. Because that conveyor belt was nearly full. Now feed them, give them water, and that's the sheep done, including the new ones. Now I could have, if I wanted to, come over here and cut this field. There's plenty of grass here. It does seem a bit odd that they're in a field full of grass and I'm feeding them grass, but that's always been the same on Farming Simulator. Oh, they didn't take anywhere near as much as I thought they would. Okay, so this one sit to the side. I've got plenty of grass. What I'll do is just quickly detach that. Fill up the water. And that'll be the sheep done for a while with the new numbers. So hopefully those wool pallets are going to start filling up really quickly. I'm nowhere in the league of people like Frag Dad and who are sitting there with something like, well, I know at one point he had over 1,000 sheep in his flock. I think he's way over that now. With that amount of sheep, they're just racking up the pallets really are. But there we go. So that's them sorted for a while. I will buy some more at some point. So, okay, that was odd. Under the tractor. So right, what I need to do now is a bit of tidying up, take some vehicles back, put them where they need to be. I mean, I could refill this completely to the top again. What I might do is do some bales, see how many bales I get. If I've got some grass left, refill this so it's right up to the top. Then I haven't got to worry about this for a little while. That's kind of what I could do. Which I might do, actually. Then I'll go and check on field 22 and see how we're getting on with the poplar seeding. I'll drop this weight down here for the time being, so I can put the front loader on when I need to. Okay. So that's sheep dealt with. What's going to do? The case could do with going back with that equipment. I will go and check on the voucher as well, actually. So, here we are. The voucher is plodding on at its 3 miles an hour. But the poplars are going in. I think we're about halfway. Not sure. Check at the end of the field. Let's have a look. Roughly. Don't know, maybe. It's hard to tell. It's doing incredibly well. This is only the second pallet, and I bought 10. That's really, really overdid it. I'm probably only going to use 3, maybe 4, or I'll be on my 4th, probably. But I can always go to one side, and I could do the harvest on here, and then poplarize it. That's just a made-up word. But this is a great tractor. I'm glad I bought this. Oh, the other thing I found out on Sandy Bay, because I leased the Sammy Fortis, I think it was, during the kind of during the broadcast, because we didn't have enough tractors for everyone to have a tractor and do work. I went back on afterwards to do a bit of fiddling around. None of the seeders were full. I'd forgotten all about that. So I kind of went around, filled the seeders and that kind of thing, and bought another tractor. I thought, well, I'll get Sammy, and I thought, Umdenard. Went along and looked at the Deutzfahrs, and I haven't ever done it really. The Deutzfahrs, that kind of nice light green colour, and it gives you the option standard or warrior in design. If you go warrior, you get a black Deutzfahr, and it says warrior in yellow on the side, which is quite cool. So next time we do Sandy Bay, have a look out for that. It's a pretty nice tractor. So this is all going well. The poplars are going in. And looking at this, no, we're not halfway yet. So, haven't got a lot left on this pallet, to be honest. Probably another row out of it. So then we'll get on to the next one. So you're probably looking at about 4. Probably about 4 pallets. But there'll be plenty to harvest on here. Like I say, it's not a bad sized field, in all honesty. I'll leave that continuing. I'll get a message when that runs out of seed. And I'll just whiz over to the trailer, which is just there in the corner of the field, grab another one and continue. Next job then is getting this case back. I will take it that whatever I get bale wise, that'll be however many bales I do. I'm not going to cut any more grass for the time being, don't need to. The sheep are going to be alright for a while, and I've got enough cut already to do a few bales. Even if it's only 4 or 5, it'll be fine for the cows for a little while. I can always come back out and do some more whenever I need to. Just realised as well, driving past there, the massive Ferguson sitting there with the fertiliser spreader on the back. That needs to be put away as well. So I'm thinking as well, if I am expanding, I've got more tractors and that kind of thing, I may need to invest in another fertiliser spreader. That way I can be doing multiple what's the matter with me this morning? Multiple fields at a time. And I might even have to invest, I probably said this the other day, I know I keep repeating myself, different things, in another cultivator probably, again, so I can just get these fields turned around fairly quickly. At some point it may even be a case of more seeders. Yeah, we shall see. I'll put this down as is. I think it's probably the best bet. Nope, don't want to do that. There we go. Okay, let's back this out, and we'll go and hook up to the windrower, put that away. It's a lovely feeling being debt-free. Thanks, Angel Eyes. It hadn't even crossed my mind, in all honesty. And it's not something you think, oh, well, I must sort that out. And the interest isn't horrendous. You know, I think it was something like 379 or 500 and something. You think, well, I can sell a bit of wood chip and that will cover the interest payment. But I suppose at the end of the day, if you've got the money there, why pay interest if you can just pay it off? Life lessons as well. It's amazing. The things you can do on Farming Simulator. Right, I suppose I could grab the baler, because I do need to bale that grass. That could be one job I could do. I might well do, actually. So this episode might be a little bit, not bitty, but I suppose it is a little bit bitty. It's odd jobs that need to be done. It's one of those things that you have a kind of a blitz on harvesting, and you might go around the fields harvesting, then cultivating, then seeding, fertilising. Once that's all done, it's back to that kind of, not humdrum, but it's the ticking over of the farm. All your jobs need to be done, the animals need to be fed, grass needs to be cut, you need to make bales, you need to, you know, all the bits that need doing. And I could skip all those out. I could do them all off screen. I don't know. It'd be a bit pointless, wouldn't it, really? It's always good to show that you're doing them. You're not just making stuff up. But the only other thing I was going to say was this. I mentioned this a while back when this baler pack came out. They still didn't ever bring out the trailer for it. The trailer for the baler. It never came out from Black Sheep Modding. Because you could have that trailer hitch on the back and hook up the auto stack trailer that went with this baler. Never came out on Mod Hub, which was well, unfold it, of course. How silly of me. Right. Turn it on. Oh, I seem to have a baling already, which will probably change automatically as soon as I touch the grass. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to get one almost straight away. Like I say, I might only get 4 or 5, might not even get that many. It's going up relatively quickly, in all honesty. But it'll be enough to take over to the cows. Make sure they've got enough. Does need doing every now and again. I think because I cut with the triple mower and then windrowed, there's a fair bit in each windrow, because this is going up quickly. I'm going to have more than 4. Brilliant. There we go, Helper J stopped working unexpectedly, the tank is empty. So we'll need to go to field 22, get another pallet on there. let that carry on. No, so it'll be interesting when I turn this bend, because it was just up here that I came across that other swath that had obviously been left behind from when I did some before, and this will probably go up even quicker then. Probably in a minute, isn't it? I'll reach it. There we go. I will check the stats page at the bale counter, and we'll see created bales this session. See how many we've made. I think we're going to be around 10, maybe. I haven't been counting. I've been chatting and not really paying attention. Not great, really, is it? So the same as usual. There'll be a bale stuck in there. Turn that off. Unload the 2 bales that I can, and there'll be one left in the chamber that's got about 1,162 litres in it. Whatever I then bale next, it will convert it to that. So it's grass again, fine. Hay, fine. Straw, also fine. Lift the pick up, fold up the baler, and we're done. I will check the stats page, see what it says. Sorry, I think I just caught my my mic. 12 bales, that's alright. Created bales, 12. That's more than I thought it would be, and that'll be fine for the cows for a little while. So it'll be bale collector, get those picked up. It's not immediate they get picked up, they've been done, but I can get them whenever I want. Whoa. Okay, this is tight with this. Swing that round. Get this back up to the farm. And then field 22, get that going again, get a pallet on there. And we are continuing with our jobs. It's all gone a bit pear-shaped over on field 22. Just went over to check the Valtra, and it needed obviously a new pallet putting on. Put a new pallet on, set the worker. When it got to the end of the field, it kept turning back towards the crop it had already planted. So I set it off again, it went down the field, got to the bottom, turned towards the crop again. I couldn't get it to turn away. So what I've had to do is set the worker off from the other side of the field to bring it back towards, and hopefully it will meet in the middle. I can't figure out why it's done it. Didn't do it at all the day before. Anyway, never mind. I am now collecting the bales. So we have cut them, we've windrowed, we've baled, and now we're collecting. Once I've got them all, I will take them over to Lewis. Interestingly, that kind of situation with the trailers, I know it did say jockey wheels and things like that, but I guess trailers aren't. I've got the row crop tyres on the front here, which means the tractor's not causing any problems going across any of the grass, but the trailer is. So the wheels on the trailer are leaving a bit of, not massive amount of destruction, but it's still flattening the grass down, which I suppose again in real life of course it would. That's exactly what it would do. And that's all 12 bales. Put that away. Rather than try and get through the narrow gate again, I'm going to go down across what we've already cut, and then back across at the bottom of the field and out to Lewis. I managed very skillfully to back up and knock the bales over, which wasn't really my intention. I've also got the telehandler here, which has got grass in the bucket, but I think the grass trough is full, so it won't tip it. So once the cows eat some more grass and it needs some, that will automatically just fall out of that bucket. That'll be fine. I need to tidy up those bales that I knocked over as well. But what I'm going to do is just drop this off here. Put those. Now that's interesting. Why has that gone over those? I'm not registering that they're there. How weird. Okay, let's drop that down. And close that. That's very peculiar. Never mind, they are there. So there we go, we've got grass bales again for the cows. That should keep them ticking over for a while. I'll put the water tank container, whatever you want to call it, back in a minute. Just put this back into storage. And I'm thinking new purchase for the farm. I know we bought field 11, which yes, it is a purchase. I'm thinking of some new machinery. We did get the voucher as well, which is also new. Excellent. Right, sort out this Aquatrans and then we'll think about what we're going to do next. Now, as you're aware, I bought field 11 after the silage harvest. It has got soybean in it, and if we go across to growth, it is ready to harvest. Unfortunately, soil composition, there isn't any fertiliser on it, so it's not going to be a particularly high yield, but it's a big field, so it's going to kind of, it'll balance itself out. That being said, then, what I want to do is buy another harvester. I've had a look along here and I was looking at the smaller ones and you know, it's a big map, big fields. I'm not going to go to smaller harvesters. My dilemma was I've got the Case Axial Flow 9230 with the big header, the Massey Ferguson Delta 9380. I kind of like the look of. I had it on one of the other maps and kind of upgraded or changed. I can't remember now. I did think about downloading the Fendt Harvester pack, which is, I think, reskins of the Massey Fergusons. I did think about that just to be a little bit different because I haven't done that before. But my problem was looking at the headers. When you get up to the bigger headers, I know for a fact that the Case Superflex and the New Holland Superflex and the Case 3162 Draper both have their own built-in kind of wheel system, so they're their own trailer. The Dynaflex 40 foot for the Massey Ferguson, I don't know if that's got its own wheel system on it. It might well have, but I was worried that if I bought it thinking it did have and didn't, it then becomes a real headache with, you know, I'm not massive headache, but having to have a header trailer and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to go for the New Holland, the CR10.90. I bought that and I bought the header. The header was, I think, 62,000. So it's coming at about 492,000, I think it works out at. So not cheap, but we have it here. And it's lovely and big and New Hollandy and all the things it should be. So there we go. That's what we're going to be using. We're going to do a harvest on field 11. When the harvest done on field 11, then what I will do is do corn in it. So that'll be ready for another silage harvest and corn for the pigs, because that'll start to run low at some point as well. That's the plan. However, that harvest will be in the next episode. We are at the end of another episode. I've done a few little jobs here and there, and that voucher is still going. So what's that? 2 episodes now we've been going, and it's still putting poplars in the ground on field 22. It is a slow process, and it's a fair size field. So next episode, we'll get field 11 harvested to get the soybean off it, and I'm probably going to plant corn in that to do another big silage harvest later on down the line. Obviously then hopefully the poplars will be finished at some time, whoever knows what's going to happen there, and we will continue with the jobs. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share the video, please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.